When I came back from Flotus, I found a really great surprise on my Facebook page. Chris from CC Rigging from San Diego, he had offered me to sell me all my needed rigging parts for the wholesale price, which is really awesome. And also he told me that he would give me online advice if I needed any to change the rigging by myself. One tricky thing on my rigging was to figure out how we could change the gooseneck of the boom that is on my cutter stay, because right now, the way it was set up now, I would actually have to send this whole part to the States and have it fit into the forestay, into the cutter stay, and have it sent back. And that would have been pretty costly as well, so we had to figure out another way of dealing with it. Well, first thing I had to do was to take it apart to actually understand how it works. And I played around with it for a while, but pretty soon I figured out that it would be much easier to have another set of hands to take it apart, because one actually had to hold something and the other one had to turn something around. So I rode over to my neighbors and I asked Steve from Sagasi to give me a hand. And then actually it just took 5 minutes to take the whole thing apart and figure out how it worked. Once we had figured the cutter stay out, and I remeasured the whole rigging just to make sure that it's actually the right sizes, because once the fittings are pressed onto it, like swaged onto it, well, you know, there's not much more you can do anymore. And then once we'd placed the order, it was gonna take about a month or two for the stuff to arrive, so it was time to go and play and work a bit on the boat. One of my other neighbors is Peter from Drum Thunder, and he's got 2 kayaks on his boat. So one morning he came by and he asked me if I wanted to come for an early morning paddle trip on the Rio. So we went for a little ride just down the river and then into one of these little creeks that go off the river. And his little dog Butters was with us too. He's got this little harness thing with a handle on the back, so he can actually lift him from the water up on the kayak. It's pretty neat. He's really cute. And it was beautiful in the morning. It was really quiet. There's just the sound of the birds, and we were just going through this little creek, and I thought, wow, I really need to get a kayak. It's such a great way of getting around and exploring whatever is near, and you can actually go way further than you can go with little Carlitos. This new little sinker thing for river fishing, so I'm going to try that out now. Let's see how that goes. Fish, but humans, this is how you do it. You just put the cold beer out here, and then they'll come. You nuts! Do you want me to throw it at you? 1, 2, 3, up! There you go! Well, since I was waiting for my rigging to arrive, I went down to Texan Bay again to see Tom, because he had cut my boom jib, because when it arrived it was actually too big for my boom. So I anchored up in Texan Bay, and I started to chip some paint off Karl. And because I'm waiting anyways, I thought, you know, I might just as well give him some TLC and fix up all those open aluminum patches. decided to move over to Tom's loft because it would be much easier to get some work done over there. A couple of damaged parts on my Genoa and on my mainsail, and I'd asked Tom if maybe he can show me how I can fix those. But more about that next week.